What do you know about that? I think we might have Storm and Norman on the line. Norman, are you there?
Hey, John, why didn't you, when you were on the 7:30 report a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
why wasn't there a bloody warning about getting your children and dogs out of the room before you came on? You scared them half to death. You're the most ugliest looking creature on the planet. And I couldn't even believe it. And I read in the paper lately that you still have a seat at Otto's or something.
Wow, do I have what?
I can't believe that.
What do I have?
You reserved your spot at Otto's or something, is that right?
I
You've
have
got a place there reserved for yourself?
Yeah, I do. I have a regular table there because I go there a lot, and they always put me at the same table. They do that with a lot of people.
That's pathetic. It really is. After all, you think you're relevant again, don't you?
Hey, listen, hey, Norman,
What?
there are a lot of people who choose a regular table at a restaurant that they particularly like. Plenty of people do it.
No, they used to do that because you used to be famous.
I used to be famous.
You used to be famous, and they thought, oh, they'll get some publicity out of having John Laws at their restaurant.
Oh, no.
You probably got some money in it, haven't you, John?
No,
Probably own it, don't you? I have, money in it. But listen, I'm just thinking, you're just living off Alan Jones now, aren't you?
Oh, no. Oh, no, I'm glad. I'm glad I'm not. I am sympathetic to Alan's plight, if you listened to me earlier, and obviously you do. Listen, Norman, why do you listen? Norman.
What?
Why do you listen to me?
I don't like you, John, okay? But listen to me. You're just trying to be... I can't believe you got in the newspaper... You got on TV.
What do you mean I don't? What do you mean I got in the newspaper? They put me in the newspaper. I didn't ring up the newspaper and say, "Oh, could I get myself into your newspaper?"
Oh, well, you had your publicity people on the line.
I haven't got any pub. What are you talking about, Norman? Let me tell you a few home truths. I haven't got any publicity people.
You got all your handmaidens. You got all these people. People thought you were dead.
I know you keep telling me that, but Norman, now you've got to be good. You've got to allow me an opportunity to talk. I don't have all these publicity people, and as far as the handmaidens are concerned, they don't do anything about publicity.
But listen, you're pathetic. Now you're going on about your mate Mundine. Oh, you associate you associate with a lot of really good people, aren't you? Hey, Mundine.
He's all right.
Oh, come on.
What's the matter with Anthony Mundine? I'll tell you what. His old man was a terrific fighter. Tony Mundine was a terrific fighter and represented us in the Olympic Games.
You're talking about his old man, not about him.
Well, I'm talking about his old man. He's part of the family.
He's a publicity seeker like you, and he's not relevant like you're not relevant. Don't you get a big head again thinking that you're relevant now, because you're not. Okay? You're only trying to get on the back of Alan Jones controversy to get your head on TV and get your head in the paper.
I haven't. Hey, Norman.
You really are.
Norman, just shut up for a minute. Let me tell you a few home truths. You're the one that is pathetic. I mean, you are absolutely, totally pathetic. You are, without a doubt, the most sweet person that I've ever had to talk to on radio. You are terrified of your own voice, but you love the sound of it nonetheless. You squeak and scream like a bad sort, and you say things that are absolutely and totally inaccurate.
Oh, that really hurts my feelings, John.
I'll bet it does, you goose.
I've been put down by the old man of radio.
Yeah, you have.
Please, just go back to your nursing home, will you? Please, get off the TV, get out of the papers.
Listen, you don't have to look. Norman, now be a good little boy. You don't have to look at the TV. You don't have to read the newspapers. You don't have to listen to my program. It's a free world. So be a good.
You used to be somebody.
I've never been somebody. I've always just been me. Be a good little boy, Norman, and behave yourself. Look on the bright side of life instead of the hideous side of life. Stay away from a mirror.
Just look at John Laws. Look who he associates himself with, and then judge the man by the person he associates him with. And that's Anthony Mundine. And everybody knows Anthony Mundine's a disgrace. And you're a disgrace for hanging out with him.
I don't hang out with him. I wouldn't have seen Anthony Mundine for 5 years. More, probably. I don't hang out with Anthony Mundine. You tell lies, Norman. Norman, you little grub. Norman, you nasty little piece of work. Norman, you little jerk. Yeah. Get your hands above the desk, Norman, and live a life.